Hey, Kristen LeVanway here in Phoenix, and over the last few days I've read several articles about loan modifications and their effectiveness or lack of effectiveness in reducing the number of foreclosures. And I think there's universal agreement that the results of the loan modification, even though it's been really promoted heavily by the feds and they've really been pressuring the banks to reduce the payments for these distressed borrowers, the results have been less than spectacular. It hasn't been a real effective way to reduce the number of foreclosures. And so these articles have been asking the question, well, why is that? One camp is pointing the finger right at the bank, saying it's all the bank's fault. And I think there's some merit to that argument. Banks are not philanthropic organizations. They're not going to do anything that costs them money without kicking and screaming. And bottom line is loan modifications, they lose money when they do them. They're better off either doing a short sale or foreclosure than a loan modification, especially when they put the effort in to do the mod and then the homeowners end up giving the house up in the end anyway. So they're not so keen on the loan modification program, and that's probably a big reason why they haven't been doing such a good job on them. But on the other side, there's an argument that states, well, it's the borrower's fault. You know, they're not being responsible. They're not making the trial period payments. They're not providing documentation. And yeah, the bank will give them the loan mod, and in the end, they end up walking away from the house. Well, I think there's a lot of merits to that argument as well. You know, when these homeowners are coming to the banks for the loan mods, they're in a hardship situation. They're having financial troubles. And so even with the modification, it might still be difficult for them to make those payments. In some cases, the modification is so small. I've heard of, you know, maybe the payment's reduced by $100 on a $2,500 loan, or there's cases where people will apply for the loan modification and make the trial period payments, and in the end the bank turns them down and they end up having a big late fee charge assessed, and you know, basically the application for the loan modification has screwed them over and now they're in worse shape than when they started. So the loan modification may not help their situation. Combine that with the fact that if they purchased their home in the last couple of years, chances are they're way underwater on their home. The home is worth way less than what they owe to the bank. And the loan modification is really a short-term fix. Most of the ones that are being done right now are a reduction in interest for 3 to 5 years. And at the end of that time, the interest rate adjusts back up to market value, and the borrower still has a home that's severely overvalued. So they're still in a big, you know, kind of mess as far as finances go. So bottom line, I think the loan modifications, you know, it's a good idea, and in some cases it definitely can help a borrower in a tough situation. So it's worth a try. You know, give your bank a call and see if you can work something out. But in the end, for most folks, I think it's a Band-Aid applied to a major hemorrhage, and it might slow things down for a little while, but in the end, more drastic measures are going to be required. So, you know, that's kind of the way I see it, and I would love to hear your comments on the topic. Shoot me an email at kristen@hereinphoenix.com. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and make it a great day.